Oh, normally there's a delay there. Hello, MGTOW brothers and brothers. So I'm seeing like a few videos that are just. I mean, I foreshadowed it a little bit, but basically people, talking about um, MGTOW is is deconstructing. And MGTOW's falling apart. No, and you know, I, the argument that I heard is actually twice now. No leaders, and I just don't agree. That I mean, there's people. Oh, it's so funny that my life has turned into Fight Club. the the thing is that leaders aren't what we need. Leaders are what got us into this. And the only way out is without central leadership. This is why MGTOW happened at all. Is there wasn't a chain of command. It was by its very nature, a chain of command is bad for MGTOW. MGTOW is the rejection of a chain of command because a chain of command ultimately leads to slavery, plantation, dynamics. So leaders aren't the answer, but and this guy, he's talking about secret society club, which uh, hey, that's what I said, but it doesn't start with here's where I think that a lot of MGTOWs are gonna go and not have a real direction. So when you really sort of uh, peel back all the layers of what this particular MGTOW had been saying, he has no direction, and this is what I keep saying is you have the state of mind, but without a plan and without action, you and you could say MGTOW has a loose plan. It's not really. I mean, and for most MGTOW, the plan, the state of mind is the plan. So it's not. It's not. Leaders aren't going to help us. The only thing that's going to help us is action, and that's what I was talking about in my other videos. Is you with this secret society or where you have a club and it's great, but again, without making contact with other MGTOW, you're still locked into the blue pill lifestyle. And it's exactly as some of these comments stated. You might have gone your own way, but they're coming for you. The blue pill world is creeping up onto your doorstep, and you're not actually escaping the plantation. Your mind has, but you're not escaping the fucking plantation. So that's what I'm talking about, and that's what I'm saying when I'm talking about making contact with local MGTOW. If you can't do this, if you don't do this, then it's basically the case that you're going to be locked into a blue pill lifestyle. It's not going to change. Uh, I just made a totally vegan. Um, I guess I'm gonna call it a banana coffee or something. Like, uh, basically, I put coffee, strong coffee, in the blender with bananas and coconut kefir, which is basically yogurt made out of coconut cream. Very delicious. Put a little cinnamon on top. So, uh, the the thesis that I'm putting out here is that if MGTOW is going anywhere, It it's exactly like the movie Fight Club, and not in the let me rephrase that. We're not gonna blow up credit card buildings. Um, what I mean is that Fight Club was in the basement. That's MGTOW. Project Mayhem was in the real world. And this is a blueprint, and it's not arbitrary. Fight Club is not arbitrary. He didn't just randomly pick these things. This is a formula. This is a formula that has been proven to work repeatedly throughout history. That's the reality of this movie, is that it's based on true events in a way. And so MGTOW has to come out of the basement. And the longer it stays in the basement, the more creepy, weird guys are going to start going down in there and just trying to pervert it. I mean, and I see some ridiculous... I mean, this is just like anti-MGTOW 101 shit, where they're just like, yeah, I'm MGTOW for now, but I'm just waiting for the right one. Go MGTOW. It's like, you're not a MGTOW. You have no idea what you're involved in. You have no idea what this is. Why you're in this basement. It's just, it's ridiculous. And so ultimately, the thesis that I have here is I have a blueprint. I have a map. And here's the deal. Right now, I don't live in America. I live in Asia, so things are quite different. And it's not likely I'm gonna run into a lot of MGTOW out here, but in the States, they're everywhere. What I'm saying is, and also keep in mind that I actually don't have... I haven't been to work for 2 months, okay? 2 months. I still have a month of vacation. I work 10 hours a week. And my rent, it's like less than $200 a month. So when you look at my circumstance, I don't need that much help. I don't really need help at all. It's not that I'm even self-sufficient. It's that, in a way, the plantation has been conquered to an extent for me. So, I'm not really in need of help, but I know there's a lot of MGTOW out there who do need help. Your rent's up to $1,000 a month. Your living expenses are $300 a month. You can barely afford to live. You're certainly not saving any money. You're working 40 hours a week. Your life is basically shit. You have a garbage lifestyle that is ultimately pivoting around your work schedule, and so you hate life when in the time, in the small amount of time that you don't love it. So the issue, and this is what I'm saying, is that you want to get off the plantation. You want to take MGTOW out of the basement. You have to change what you're doing. You have to change your life. You have to, and here's the thing: the blue pill mindset, it's not just all those things. It's also the way you live. You live a blue pill lifestyle. Okay, so you're like, yeah, I'm not going to engage with women. Or I'm only going to fuck women on Tinder or something. And it's like, you've taken those, and you've even, gone monk. So you're at the monk level, meaning you've cut off contact completely. You're doing everything to minimize your interaction with the blue pill world, but somehow you're still locked in and getting sucked back into that plantation. The only way to escape that is to meet other MGTOW. You have to cast a collective spell of MGTOW, just a MGTOW spell. You have to collectively do that together, and it's hard because you know, MGTOW is men going your own way, right? We're just, and no leaders. And it's like, yeah, but you, if you move your body, if you just take yourself and then you collect some other MGTOW, and there's no leader here. There's no leader. It's just take a bunch of your MGTOW brothers and find them, and that's what I was saying. Is you got to find them, and then you got to put them all in a house together with you, and it, interestingly, like Fight Club, you will look something like Project Mayhem in a short order, because you'll find a bunch of guys being minimalistic, probably all shaving their heads at some point, and nobody's working too hard, nobody's spending too much money, except to make, maybe the only reason they're working hard is to make this house look really dope, even though it's a pile of shit you bought in a terrible part of town. And that is how MGTOW can be constructive. This is what construction looks like. MGTOW is the nihilistic, destructive state. It's the part where you look around, you see everything is fucking stupid, and you start smashing shit. And so that's great. Yes, especially because they give you that little burst of red pill rage to smash shit up. But once you get into the malaise and beyond, then you have to start thinking about your next moves. You cannot just ruminate in the red pill rage forever. And it's unsustainable in every way. It's unsustainable emotionally, it's unsustainable actually, and ultimately it's non-constructive. You're not creating anything, and if you care about anything past past the point when you took the red pill, you have to begin being constructive, and just constructing blue pill light isn't actually the way to move yourself forward in the progress of your life. And it really is a blue pill lifestyle. I mean, this is ultimately what what a lot of MGTOW are doing. You've basically made yourself into a self-sustaining slave unit, albeit you're not offering as much to the plantation because you're not, doing these things, but you've locked yourself in your cell, and then on top of that, you're giving out your dick to all these women who are just really excited to get a piece of that, and then go on with their normal life to later find a blue pill guy and lock down, and it's you're just a lesser piece of the plantation, and it's not enough. It's not enough. And a lot of MGTOW are actually figuring this out, but they're just what I'm seeing online is very much the sky is falling. There's a lot of guys who are who just aren't MGTOW, who are trolling MGTOW videos. There's some people just proselytizing now. It's ridiculous, but yeah, I mean, there it is. If the solution for MGTOW is to find the others and collectivize. This is it. This is the only way it's going to happen, because, well, let me put this really carefully. MGTOW was very individualistic, and individualism is something that is a necessary component of personal growth. But the ultimate progression of maturity lands on collective. it doesn't mean you go to collectivism, and especially not the lesser forms of collectivism. Because there's lesser forms of individualism, and there's lesser forms of collectivism. It goes like this, back and forth, collective, individual, collective, individual, collective, individual, up like that, and it ultimately lands on building a society. When you climb to the top of this particular chain of events, you land on a mystic, and you land on someone who builds society, someone who creates, and it necessarily entails that you have a collective here, or you're either controlling it or you're a part of it. Actually, you're necessarily a part of it. This is the ultimate progression. MGTOW is the individualist king. It's the top of the individualist sort of because what we're looking at in MGTOW is ultimately you're building yourself, but then also you're examining all the systems. You're sort of stepping out and using your brain. The MGTOW is very cerebral. It's living in your mind and noticing everything and sort of pulling yourself out to correct all the mistakes you've been making. But necessarily you must put yourself back in, but not as a tool. You can't, not as a pawn, but as the king. And if you're not doing that, you're not a king. You're just under that. You're just under that. And so you become a part of the system. And so if you're looking for that next step, it has everything to do with getting out of the blue pill way of life. It has to do with creating a red pill societal dynamic. That's what we're really talking about, a societal dynamic. The role of men in society. What is it? You have to be it. And to be it, you have to transcend the previous program. And here's the thing. This is what the Matrix sees you as. When you are just a MGTOW doing a MGTOW lifestyle, you're a single man. That's it. You're not special. And so, as long as you just fit right neatly into a little place, you're not changing anything. Nothing's changing. Nothing's getting better. And least of all you. You're exactly what they will call Leo, a perpetual bachelor. You're just a perpetual bachelor. It's not anything that is unique here. So what I'm advocating for is there needs to be, as I put it, bases or hives. I think a hive is kind of a cool sort of way to describe if a bunch of MGTOW come together in one house. We need some hives, or hovels. Maybe a hovel, because we're goblins. So you've got to create that societal dynamic, become it, embody it. And until you take that step, until we take that step, Fight Club is still in the basement. And not to say that Project Mayhem was any good. I mean, we're not killing anyone, we're setting them free. They did blow some shit up, right? There's massive destruction to infrastructure. So, but just to say that this is a it's a fulfillment of the vision. You know, I mean, Fight Club was never going to be the end. It was always that it was going to turn into something more interesting than just a support group and you beating up your friends. So yeah, I can't wait to see more videos about people just sort of ruminating about the end being near and watching more degenerate, more and more degenerate content. And actually, I will comment on that. I watch a lot of MGTOW videos, and I realize this is like. Do any of you know who Leafy is here? I'm like watching MGTOW videos, and I'm just like, these people are shadows of Leafy. Like some of these MGTOW content creators, they're just shadows of Leafy. Like, not that Leafy completely changed YouTube. I mean, there's so much content that looks exactly like fucking Leafy. Crazy, the kid. But it's the case that I'm looking at this content and I'm just like, there's nothing new being presented here. I mean, a lot of it's just but the truth is that there's at least one video that Stardust made that if you watch this one Stardust video, you understand MGTOW. You've got it. Just one Stardust video. There doesn't need to be that much content. There really doesn't. And it's great because you get those reminders and you get to flesh it out. Like, I watch Sandman all the time. He's cool. Like, it's the same shit, but I just, that's what's cool. It's like you just get little reminders of everything. Just, yeah, remember all this bullshit that you have to deal with while you're in it. Remember that? Yeah, Sandman just sort of reminds you over and over again. Hey, remember all that? It's cool. But yeah, the content though, it's not revolutionary, it's not evolutionary, it's stagnant, and yeah, you know, it really is just a lot of times not very impressive. So what I'm really getting at is if we don't take MGTOW out of the basement, I think that you can expect more basement talk in MGTOW. Essentially, it's just I mean, and it's and you know, this guy did say one smart thing. He said, all the intelligent MGTOW will eventually leave, and you'll just be left with more and more degenerates making content and in the comment section and fighting about racism and trolling and yeah. So there it is. I just wanted to put this video out there to sort of reiterate my thesis. Again, if you're savvy with apps or technology, hey, start it. Make the revolution happen. All you have to do is connect MGTOWs. That's it.